Hello.
Hi.
Wow.
Wow.
It's been a week so far.
It has.
It has been a week. Welcome back to Life in Progress. I'm Carly.
I'm Ilana.
And we are also joined by Barkley.
Barkley is here and smiling.
Barkley is here. What if I get a dog? Are we just going to have both dogs sitting on the bed like this?
That would be a dream.
I'm going to imagine having two little pups.
Stop.
Remember when I was going to get a dog?
You were really going to get a dog. I was the biggest advocate for you getting a dog.
You were like, look how easy it is.
Except he wants to talk now and come sit. All right, you can come sit, but you have to be good.
Okay. Good job.
I mean, like, how would you not want one of these?
Well, when he starts barking, that's when.
Yeah, but every other time, it's like a baby starts crying, you don't return them.
I would love
You still love
to.
them. You love them.
Love to return him. I return him to his parents.
Okay, well, yeah, you could do that. But see, look at this little angel.
I know.
Look at this angel boy.
I can't believe you got to meet Chase finally.
I know. He's so cute.
See, I'm not like being dramatic. Like some babies are not cute, and
No.
I'm not being biased. Like I think he's the cutest baby.
Your nephew is the cutest baby I've ever seen.
Yeah. And you held him.
I held him.
You did.
And he didn't hate me.
No, he didn't at all.
He was very cute.
Anyway, great episode we have coming up, all about bridesmaids, bachelorettes, bridesmaid etiquette, my bachelorette,
My not bachelorette.
Ilana's not bachelorette, which that TikTok went pretty viral of you not having one.
Yeah, someone actually said to me that so many of her friends had sent it to her and said that it was so refreshing to hear that, and B, I explained all of my stressors like really well, and that they connected with it a lot, and that meant a lot. Like whether or not someone is choosing to have a bachelorette party, I think these are just things that like you should be thinking about, wanting to make sure you're going to have fun and that your friends are going to have fun and it's going to be more fun than stress.
Yeah.
And that you're doing it because you want to go on a trip with your friends, not just to go take pictures, you know?
Yeah.
I think they're important.
You want to celebrate.
Yeah, they're important things to talk about and think about. And I'm glad that that post went viral because I definitely didn't expect it to.
Yeah.
I think it's just
I
so
did.
unexpected. You did?
I expected it because it's unexpected.
True.
Not many people don't have bachelorette parties.
Yeah. But there's a lot of reasons there's a lot of reasons to have a bachelorette party, but there are just as many reasons to not. So you have to figure out what you want.
Yeah. Another post that's going viral right now, but like for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
And I sent you this earlier just before we get into our episode. This is interesting. I posted a clip on my personal TikTok, but it was from a Life in Progress recording, and it was talking about how, you know, let's normalize not being in a group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, the video resonated so well with people like, thank you for posting this. This is so nice to hear.
I felt self-conscious. Now I feel less alone.
Like this is so nice, whatever. And now all of a sudden, a different side of TikTok is getting this video.
They got their claws out.
Yeah, they're like, well, that's a personal problem. Like, that's a you problem. If you're feeling like your friends are talking shit about you, then you're insecure. Like, oh.
No.
That's thanks. Okay.
Rude.
So then every friendship I've been in, you're telling me I've felt anxiety or insecure, like upset or insecure because I'm just insecure myself. Like, no, I'm pretty sure half of them were talking shit about me. That's why.
Yeah. There's no world in which they've never felt insecure in their friendships. And listen, we all have different types of friendships. There are some friendships where I leave the room and I'm like, yeah, they're probably talking shit about me. And then I have other friendships where that thought would never cross my mind.
Totally. And that wasn't even the point I was trying to make. It was that you don't have to be in a singular group of friends.
Yeah.
And then someone also said to me, well, easy to say when you're in a relationship. Again, I never said I didn't have friends. I said you don't need to be in one group of friends, one group chat. Like, I could not be. I get it. I get what they're saying. Like, saying that it's easier to be in a group of friends when you're single, but not if you're feeling like shit about it.
No, also, you never said having a partner means you don't need close friends.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm just saying I like friends in all different areas, and I have deeper connections with these friends, not in a group setting.
Yeah. People are
So anyway, that's what's
wild.
going on my TikTok right now. Who knew
sorry
that
for
video would really, everyone's like, oh, well, you're the problem. I'm like, okay, well,
Bye.
bye.
That's fine.
Anyway.
I'm convinced that you and your family keep aloe in business.
Same. This is my sister's. Yeah.
That's a great color for you, though.
Oh my God, thank you. Should I steal it from her?
Yes, you should. It like actually matches your eyes so perfectly.
I can't wait until I walk back into my house because she didn't see me leave. Carly, you're taking all my stuff. I'm also wearing her like said active sports bra, and I walked in the house earlier and she was like, can you please just make sure you put that back because otherwise I'm going to leave with just the shorts. And
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Anyway.
Right. I feel like that was enough in progress.
That was enough in
Great.
progress.
That's all in progress.
That's
No, I'm really excited to get to this topic. It's one I've wanted to talk about for a while, and it's one that is so nuanced and specific. And if you haven't been a bridesmaid before, if you haven't been on a bachelorette party before, or even if you have, there's still so many questions and unknowns and unexpected things that come up. And we get questions about it all the time. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a really helpful episode. Like, before we even get into it, go click the share button and send it to a friend, because I guarantee you have at least 10 friends who would learn something that they really need to hear from this episode.
You know, I've never been on a bachelorette party.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, yours is going to be your first. Wow.
So what should I know? Mine's going to be my first. Yeah.
That's great.
I know. I'm excited.
That's really, you know what? I think it'll be even more fun that way.
You think?
Yes.
Like not knowing what to expect?
Yeah.
I feel like it could either go one of two ways. It's like, it'll be so fun because I won't have any expectations.
Yeah.
Or I'll like be disappointed because, I don't know, because I've never been on one. So I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. I don't think you have these like outlandish expectations that are going to be disappointing and you're going to feel let down. Also, you have Perry helping plan it and Jenna helping plan it. And I'm here to help too.
Yeah. Yeah. If anyone else wants to help plan it.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And you know what? I'm excited about it being a small group, which initially I was definitely upset about, I think.
You were.
I don't even know if upset is the right word. Maybe disappointed. I was disappointed because I think I invited like 15 or 16 and only 7 are coming, but it's honestly like 7 people. They're all in my bridal party and it's the people that I'm so happy to be around. But at first I was like, do I look lame? I was like, is this embarrassing that it's this amount of people? But those were the thoughts that went through my head. So I feel like anybody out there who is like me, who doesn't have, again, a group or a million different friends and you only have a close-knit handful of friends, like, it's okay to feel like a little bit like, oh, huh. But at the end of the day, it's like, would you really want other people there that you weren't that close with? No.
I knew the second you texted me, like, it's only 7 coming, I was like, Carly's definitely upset right now. And I'm like, no, 7 is the perfect number. Also, it's not only 7 people coming. It's 7 people who are flying to Jamaica to spend a weekend celebrating you because they love you and because they want to do that. And it's going to be incredible. And honestly, the more people, no shade to anyone who's had a huge bachelorette party, but the more people you have, the more complicated it is to plan. And the more chances there are for drama or for people to be upset or feeling some type of way or to get delayed or whatever, So 7 is literally such a good number and it's going to be so fun. And everyone who doesn't know each other is going to get to know each other really well. It's going to be incredible.
I know. I just need to work on the people pleaser in me that weekend and really just let everything happen.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Okay. So let's start real quick with some bachelorette party do's and don'ts.
Great. Please tell me.
Yeah. I will tell you. And maybe we send this to your bridal party.
Maybe.
First and foremost, can you say no if you can't afford to go on a bachelorette party?
Well, I had like 5, 6, 7 people do that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's talk about that because I think people feel so pressured the second they're asked. They're like, oh my God, if I say no, they're going to hate me. Our friendship's going to be over. Like, will they understand? What excuses do I need if I don't have a legitimate excuse, but I just can't afford it? Or I'm really busy and I don't have it in me to make it work.
Here's a tip for the bride, because I felt like I did a really, really good job at this. And I feel like if I were one of my bridesmaids, I was very happy to have received these messages. And if anybody else is planning a bachelorette trip or is having one, please do this for your bridesmaids. individually call or text them, however you want to do it. I think I sent a voice memo and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know I am starting to plan my bachelorette party. I completely understand that financially it may not work. I want you to know that I am so okay with you not being able to go if you can't do it. I get it. We'll plan something else by ourselves. We'll do something else. This is not me saying like, this is not just me saying it. I genuinely do not want anyone to feel like they have to come to my bachelorette party.
Yeah.
I don't want that. So I wanted people to know it is okay if you can't. Yeah. I'll be bummed. I'll miss them. But it's a lot of money and I get it.
Yeah. And I'm sure that alone helped them feel so much better about even considering not going.
Yeah.
Versus getting a group chat text or just an email
just being like,
with everyone BCC'd. You don't even know who else is invited. So you feel weird even texting your other friends and just feeling like, oh my God, here's the dates or here's the Google spreadsheet that I have to fill out with what my availability. What if, I don't know if I am available. I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I want to go.
Yeah.
It's so intimidating to just get a group message of like, here's the plan. Like, I'm going to book flights. Like, can't wait.
Yeah.
And then to feel like this is an obligation or this is expected of me. And now I'm going to let them down.
Yeah. I think that's crazy. I mean, I've never been in that situation. Again, I haven't been on one, so I haven't gotten one of those emails. I would feel really weird about getting an email, having no conversation before it, just being like, hey, here's where we're going. Here's how much it costs.
Well, that's another tidbit there, the how much it costs.
Which part?
We could talk about this for a whole fucking episode, but I think it's really important to include an estimate of how much you think it will cost in the initial conversation or email or group chat message if you're sending that out or what you did, because people don't want to sign up for something
100%.
Thinking one thing and then find out it's 3 times that. And I have been in that situation. And it's okay if at first you don't know how much it's going to cost. You're just trying to get a feel for people's dates, but let them know like, hey, once we figure out how many people are coming, I'll put together an estimate.
Right. And then you let me know. Yeah.
But you have to tell people a ballpark of how much it's going to cost because some bachelorette parties are $500 and some are $3,500.
Yep. And that's a lot of people cannot afford that.
No.
And you need to be okay with people saying no to that.
Yeah. You cannot expect your friends to spend a month of rent on 72 hours. You can't.
No. For something they wouldn't have done if it weren't for you getting married.
Yeah. You can't.
That's why I feel like I was so stressed even researching like where to go because everything I saw was so expensive. So I'm like, how do I make this budget friendly? But you know what? At the end of the day, it's the people who can and want to will do it.
Yeah.
And if they can't, it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not personal.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yep.
But if you're a bride or if you're the maid of honor planning this bachelorette, put what you think the budget is gotta be in there. Like make people feel comfortable. Don't make people feel awkward.
Yeah. Make people feel like, oh wow, this is really thoughtfully planned.
Yeah.
And they're considering me in this.
Yeah.
And want to make sure I'm good with it. But back to the original question, can you say no? Yes, you can.
Yes.
And I used to not think I could. And this year, I think I said no to 3. And partially because financially, I can't go to everything. I can't. Partially because I have a lot of social anxiety on bachelorette parties, especially when they're big groups of people. If I'm not that close with everyone or if they're in different places, like I just can't do it all. And I knew I wasn't going to be happy. And that would bring other people down. That would bring the bride down. I didn't want to make anyone else feel like they had to babysit me or take care of me just because I wasn't going to be in the best headspace being there. And so I said no. And I'm really glad I did that. I think it was the right move. And I've made an effort with some of my friends to, do other things with them and make sure they feel loved and they feel like I am celebrating them because of course I want to.
Yeah.
And there are some that I've had to say no to because of actual conflicts. And it's the same thing. I always just offer like, I would love to treat you. I would love to take you out. Let's plan an us day, like sometime between now and the wedding. Like I wish I could be there to celebrate you and we're going to find some other way to celebrate. And I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think anybody can say no to a bachelorette.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to go.
Yeah. Do not go out of obligation.
No.
Do not go out of obligation.
You will
You'll
have
be
a miserable time.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. how to show up for the bride and how to show up for yourself on a bachelorette party.
I mean, I don't know any of these answers, so you're going to have to take it away here.
Yeah. I think it's really important to do both, you know, make sure that you're taking, in order to show up for the bride, you have to show up for yourself. So you have to make sure you're doing what you need to get sleep. You have to make sure you're staying hydrated so that you're not hungover and unable to go to an event that was already pre-planned and a half hour away, that the numbers will be off if you don't go and everyone will be upset. That said, if you already know, like, hey, I hate paddleboarding, I'm not going to go paddleboarding, tell them from the get-go, hey, I don't like going in the ocean, I'm not going to come paddleboarding, but I'll sit on the beach and watch. Or I'm just going to use that time to, you know, sleep in so that I can feel really great and show up for you the rest of the day. And that's fine. Just give advance notice.
Yes.
But stay hydrated. Don't overdo it. Like, you don't need to get blackout drunk. You should drink responsibly and have a great time, while also knowing that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And there is something later or tomorrow that you need to be perky and happy and joyful for.
Now, here's a question going off of that. Obviously, when you're with a big group of people, you're on a bachelor trip, people drink differently, they eat differently. So we're obviously going to an all-inclusive for mine. Right. So we don't have to worry about how much someone's drinking or how much someone's not drinking. The price is going to be the same. Yeah. Now, what about a trip where, you know, you're going out to a big dinner and you're paying for the big dinner and one person is not drinking that night, yet everyone else is getting doubles, triples, whatever, shots on shots. And what do you do?
Listen, I've seen it both ways. I've seen it where the bride is really conscious of that and wants to make sure that their friends are supported in that and aren't, you know, spending an extra $100 on drinks they didn't drink. But I've also seen it where that is not a consideration at all, and people end up having to pay $250 when all they ate was a chicken Caesar salad.
But is it like you kind of go into it just expecting? Because I feel like even when I go to a group dinner, you know, I don't drink that much, but in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, hey, I actually didn't drink anything. Like, do I have to pay? You know,
I think it's something where if you know you're not going to be drinking, I think talk to, you know, sometimes it's the maid of honor who's planning the bachelorette party. Talk to them beforehand, before you get to the restaurant, before you get to the bar, and just say like, hey, I'm not planning on drinking. Is there any way we can charge me differently? Just, you know, funds are tight right now, and I'm happy to do the math and work it out. Yeah. But would that be okay?
Yeah. I think it's a really good way of approaching it.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to pay for my drinks if I'm drinking and you're not.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to.
No.
This is expensive enough as it is.
Yeah, exactly. You're already on the trip.
Yeah. But you can't expect that someone else is going to be thinking about that or even be aware that you're not drinking, especially if there are 15, 20
I agree. I think that's the part that you have to really take into consideration. No one's sitting there being like, oh, Susie over there didn't drink anything, so I'm going to make sure not to Venmo request her. Like, you got to speak up and say something, and doing it at the dinner is not the place. Yeah. Do it before and just say, hey, this is the situation.
And it's okay to ask. Same thing, like, if you're not drinking the whole weekend, if you're pregnant or on some antibiotics or whatever.
Or you just don't want to drink.
Just let whoever's planning it know, like, hey, I'm not drinking. Is there any way I could be counted out of the house alcohol spend?
Right.
Done.
Yeah.
Easy. Reasonable.
Yeah, people feel really uncomfortable doing that. I've definitely felt uncomfortable doing that in the past.
Yeah.
But maybe people feel comfortable to do that. Like, a maid of honor or a bride, if you're listening to this, like, maybe ask your party, like, hey, is anyone planning on, you know, not drinking at all this weekend, or just like, I don't know, just
or not doing X activity.
Yeah, just talk to people. I think open communication is really important on these, so no one gets resentful.
Yes.
Because that's a scary thing, is I feel like people on these bachelorette parties will get really resentful of either the bride or the maid of honor or other people around because they're paying for something they didn't do or want to pay for.
Yeah,
and then the energy, energy is just done.
And I've seen it where, you know, it's so easy for one person to grab another friend and start talking about it, and then someone else joins in. And the more you talk about it, the bigger of a deal it becomes. And then everyone's talking about it. Everyone knows that somebody's upset about something, and everyone tries to leave the bride out of it because they don't want to upset the bride. But then the bride knows everyone's talking about shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just like be open, ask the questions you need to ask to feel good.
Yeah. Don't feel uncomfortable about not wanting to spend money on something you're not doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's something, like, don't make someone feel bad for not wanting to do something.
Yeah.
Like, they're on the trip. They're here to support the bride. It doesn't mean they have to do every single thing that the bride is doing. Like, it's still a trip that they're paying for and, you know, right?
Agreed.
Okay.
I'm going to zoom through some wedding day do's and don'ts for bridesmaids because we have a ton of really great questions that you guys sent in, and I'm excited to get to those. So just some quick do's and don'ts as a bridesmaid. Number 1, do thank the bride for paying for your hair and makeup.
So can I tell you something crazy?
Tell me something crazy.
I was with my friend the other day, Denise, and she does things a lot differently with weddings. Like, a lot of her weddings are like Venezuelan weddings and they're not like American weddings. And so I think she asked me the other day, like, oh, like, should I get my hair and makeup done for your wedding? Like, do I like have someone come there? Or she just like asked a question about it. And I was like, what do you mean? Of course I'm getting your hair and makeup. And she's like, what? You're paying for my hair and makeup? And I'm like, oh my God, I thought that was just assumed. Like, it was so nice to hear that someone didn't realize or didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Because I've only ever been to one wedding where I was a bridesmaid who was my sister-in-law. So obviously I wasn't paying for my hair and makeup out of just like, just being family. I didn't know that it was a thing.
Yeah. And it's not always. I've been to weddings where
it's not.
the bride is offered, hey, I'm going to pay for one service. The other service like is optional. You can choose hair and makeup. It's optional if you want to get the other one done. If it is, here's the price. Yeah. And everyone's been okay with that too. And some people chose to do it and others didn't.
Yeah.
But if they are getting you any makeup or hair service, or they got you a dress, or they got you pajamas and slippers, whatever it is, like, thank them because they put a lot of thought into that. There's so much that they've been thinking about in terms of this wedding. Yeah. And they want to make sure that you feel special and that you feel taken care of as their bridesmaid. So make sure to thank them.
It's funny that you say that because that is definitely something I'm sure I would think about because I'm putting so much thought and so much work into my bridesmaids for my wedding. And I'm just like curious, like you're right. Like, hope they listen to this because I'll be upset if they don't say thank you.
Right. Like, thank them.
Yeah. Thank them. Everyone's putting so much time and effort into it.
Yeah. Speaking of, if you get your hair done or your makeup done and you don't like it, keep it to yourself. Do not complain. If your friend who's getting married is paying for your hair and makeup to get done and you choose a hairstyle that you don't like how it comes out, let it go. Do not walk around with a sour face. Do not go complaining to the other bridesmaids like, oh, like I hate how it turned out, or I wish I went with like another hairstyle. And I did this at the first wedding I was a bridesmaid in, and I didn't necessarily choose the hairstyle. The hair guy kind of was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, great, I trust you. And it unlocked an insecurity of mine that I didn't know I had.
Which hairstyle was it?
It was like part up. And
did you have like the two things down?
No, maybe, but I just noticed that I'm kind of like balding in certain spots. Did you notice
There's
that too?
one picture of someone's wedding you were at where I was like, I just don't like that on you. And it was like something where it was just like so up here. And I think you had like
that was
a strand down.
And I just didn't know that was going to be something I was insecure about because I had never seen it like that.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, I'm just so not used to it. And I didn't hate it. Like I thought it looked cool. And from some
but you were probably talking
great,
about it.
But I definitely felt insecure about it. And I didn't hide that. And I do wish I did not speak out about it out loud during that day because you don't want to bring the vibes down at all. You know, you want to just be happy and upbeat and not talking about yourself. Like the day's not about you.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you don't love how you look, but it's not about you.
It's not about you.
So don't complain.
It'll also make the bride feel bad that like they chose these people to do your hair and makeup and now all of a sudden you don't like it even though you paid a lot of money.
Their goal is for you to look and feel incredible.
Yeah. And so, again, they're paying a lot of money for you to get it done.
They're spending a lot of money. Yeah.
So they don't want to hear that you don't like it.
Yeah. So don't complain about the hairstyle. Do thank your bride for paying for your hair and makeup. Don't complain about your hair and or makeup.
Maybe get a style you know you like.
Yeah.
Since you've never used this person before.
Yeah. Well, so I will say I've been making an active effort to try different hairstyles.
Okay. Or that too.
Because I have no idea what I want for my wedding. And so I'm like, oh, this is a good time for me to try different things out.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's another good reason.
Yeah. But you know what? But now I know if I
don't like
I get what I get and I don't get upset.
Yeah.
Or good. It's a learning lesson. I know I don't want this for my wedding, or I know I do like something like this.
Yes.
Yeah. Ask your bride in advance, how can you be helpful the day of the wedding? You know? The bride might want you to make sure she's hydrated. Like, you know what? Like I sit back, relax, but like offer me water every hour. Because that's something that people forget to do
Yeah.
during their weddings. They forget to drink water and they need to stay hydrated. So just ask your friend, like, what can I do the day of to help out? And is there anything, like, if you think of anything, let me know how I can support you.
Yeah. And I'm sure they won't even have much to
Usually
say.
they won't. Usually they won't. But if they do, I'm sure they'll really appreciate you asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask the bride too many questions on their wedding day. They are thinking about so much and they want to be thinking about nothing.
Yeah.
They want everything to be taken care of. If you get a text from someone that they're running late for the ceremony, do not tell the bride. If you hear that the weather might change, do not tell the bride. They're worried about it as is. If you have questions, ask a coordinator, a planner, a bridal attendant, the mother of the bride, maid of honor. Ask anyone but the bride.
Yep.
Leave the bride alone. Let the bride enjoy.
This is like making me stressed for my wedding day. Like, what's gonna go wrong?
Nothing. And if anything does, you won't know about it.
Okay. Good. So if it starts raining, I won't feel it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It won't happen. It won't happen.
Knock on wood. Oh my God.
Okay. Wait, I don't want to stress you out. I want to be helpful.
No. You're helpful.
Oh, no.
Just make sure it doesn't rain.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, same.
Okay. I will.
Literally
I will
same.
if you will.
Okay. Deal.
Okay. Deal.
If
If it rains, it's okay.
yeah.
Okay.
If it rains, it's okay.
Yeah.
If it rains, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Q&A. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Carly and Ilana. I'm a first-time bridesmaid here, so thank you for doing this episode. My friend sent out a PowerPoint deck with jobs for each of her bridesmaids leading up to the wedding and on the day of the wedding. Is this normal? I love her, and I'm so honored that she wanted me to be in her wedding, but I definitely did not expect to be put to quote-unquote work.
Okay. I personally think this is weird. You've been a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
You know. I've never done it, so maybe I don't know. But to send a PowerPoint of jobs that they have, what is this? Literally, are you paying them? Like, I understand what you said about having them ask if the bride needs anything or if there's just anything out of like kindness and whatever. But for the bride to send people jobs, is that normal?
I've seen it happen and I've seen it not happen. I've also seen the bride not send things, but then the day of say like, hey, like I said, like you're on water duty, or hey, can you make sure that this person is doing this thing at this time?
Can you give me an example of besides water duty, like what is a job that you would have a bridesmaid do that they like need a whole PowerPoint presentation for? I'm sorry, I'm just like, I can't imagine me sitting there and writing like, Ilana, please make sure on the day of my wedding do XYZ. Like what? I just want you to have fun.
I think it's all little things. It's like make sure that like all of this invitation stationery is set aside for the photographer for the detail shots. Make sure that the bridesmaids' dresses are steamed. Make sure that this gets put away in this spot so that it makes it back to our house after. Things like that.
Is this a thing?
I've seen it happen.
I just didn't know that. I could be so wrong, but I just did not know. Like, I'm genuinely, I'm so confused. I didn't realize that bridesmaids have jobs. Like, I'm so confused.
They don't always. Sometimes.
I can't wait to give all my bridesmaids
jobs.
jobs.
The thing, also, like you have a full wedding planner, so you likely won't be giving your bridesmaids jobs.
Yeah.
I think it more so happens when, you know, like you have a planner. I'm hiring a month of coordinator. So like I'm making sure that that person is handling all these things. Like I'm going to be thinking about them really far in advance to make sure that I don't have to think about them the week of or the day of.
Okay. I get it. I need to know from you guys, like,
what jobs have you been assigned?
If you've been a bridesmaid or you're going to be a bridesmaid or you've been a bride that has assigned jobs, like what are these jobs? And is this a normal thing or did Ilana just pull this out of her ass?
No, I've seen it happen and I've heard about it happening.
Okay.
Here's what I would say to brides. I would say if you want your bridesmaids to help out with certain things, that is 1000% fine. They're there for you. They want to show up for you in whatever you need. But I would actually recommend not sending out a PowerPoint or a Google spreadsheet with the details because that's going to seem like really intimidating and overwhelming to everyone.
And put pressure on them.
Versus sending a text like, hey, can you handle X thing at my wedding? Or hey, can you make sure this signage gets put in a box in the bridal suite? And that seems a lot more low key and digestible versus seeing everyone's jobs laid out. It's like, oh my God, like we're being put to work.
Well, now that I know I can make jobs, I can't wait to think of the jobs I'm
what are
gonna
you
have
gonna do for me?
I don't know. Just wait though. You're gonna get a whole presentation.
Let's do it. Bring it on. You're gonna make it in Canva?
Probably.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Listen, it's not that it's normal or not normal. It happens.
I'm just surprised.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I didn't know this.
I would say, like, don't read into it too much. It's probably not that much work at all. Trust me, your friend wants you to have the best time ever, and it's just a little thing likely that they're asking for you to help out with, and don't overthink it. Don't let it overshadow how much fun the wedding's going to be.
Yeah. I'm still surprised that it drops.
Hi, ladies. I got engaged a few months after one of my good friends from college did. I received a package in the mail the other day, and to my surprise, it was a bridesmaid proposal box from her. I wasn't planning on having her in my wedding, so I feel weird being her bridesmaid if she'll be disappointed that I'm not asking her to be one of mine. Should I still say yes? Do I now have to make her one of my bridesmaids even though I wasn't planning on it? Help.
Eek.
Yeah, I'm uncomfy. I hate this for you.
I really hate this for you
Yeah.
because I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Like, I would ask yourself in this situation, how close of friends are you? Was this person on the cusp of being one of your bridesmaids or not? Or were you not even considering making them a bridesmaid? I think if they were on the cusp and like they were the top of your B list, you know, maybe you could consider including them in your bridal party. But you also don't have to do anything you don't want to do. If you're having a small, intimate bridal party, or if you've known for years exactly who the 5 people are, and this person was never going to be in that list, then you don't have to include them. Like, this is your wedding. It should be what you want. Should you say yes to theirs if you want to?
You have a hair.
Thank you.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Should you say yes to being in their bridal party? If you want to, I don't think it would ruin your friendship if you say yes, but then don't include them in yours. But if you think, you know your friend better than me, if you think it would ruin the friendship, then you have to consider that too.
I think it's having a conversation too. If you really know you don't want them, I think what Ilana said was so right. If they were kind of on your cusp and you know, you can do it and you think you're going to have a long relationship with this person, I probably would make them a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
As much as like, yes, do what you want. I think about the relationship though. Is this someone in 5 years where you think you're going to have a relationship with and a friendship with? Because if you don't see that, then do what you want. Like,
or also think about this. Picture yourself on your wedding day and you're getting ready with your closest friends and your mom and your future mother-in-law and your sister, and this person's there. Is that weird that they're there?
Right.
Do they fit in with that group? Do they share that same closeness that the rest of the people in that room have? Or does it feel really random and everyone's going to be questioning, why is Sally here?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I wonder if there's anyone in my bridesmaids that they wouldn't ask me. Like, I don't know. Maybe. But and I don't know if I'd be offended.
You didn't make people your bridesmaid with the expectation or just because you wanted to be theirs.
Right.
You made them your bridesmaid because you love them and you want them there and you want to honor them on that day.
Correct. Yeah. It's a tough one. I would say if you really don't want them in your bridal party, have a conversation about it and just be like, hey, you know I'm in yours. I'm so excited to celebrate you. This is just what I had always been thinking and X, Y, Z. And I just wanted to let you know it has nothing to do with how I feel about you and our relationship. And, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's completely valid to say. And I think the sooner you say that too, the better.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can get the package and call her, FaceTime her. I guess you're not in the same place since it was mailed to you. But I would say it then instead of letting it hang over your head.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Bride to be here. One of my bridesmaids has been really difficult ever since I asked her to be in my bridal party. Will it ruin our friendship if I ask her to step down from her bridesmaid's duties? Parentheses, there aren't duties at all, question mark. Should I just talk to her and explain that she's added stress and complicated things, or should I let it go?
What could you possibly be difficult about? Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is just so ridiculous to me. If your friend is getting married, what are you being difficult about as a bridesmaid? I want to know.
I've seen people fight about dresses. I've seen people fight about staying at the hotel or not, going to the brunch or not. I've seen a lot of things happen from the bride's perspective. It's like, this person should be showing up for me. And from the bridesmaid's perspective, it's like, well, I don't want to do something I don't want to do, or that doesn't make sense for me, or that I don't feel comfortable with.
I wish I knew what they were being difficult about. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I knew, because I'm just so, I guess, again, I haven't been in these situations. So maybe after I get married, or I haven't had, so far, everyone in my bridal party has just been so like, whatever you want. And I'm like, okay.
Do you, after this conversation, do you more so understand why I've been back and forth on should I have bridesmaids or not?
I'm more like, who the fuck is going to make it difficult for you?
I don't think it's that.
But yes.
I don't think it's that because I don't think any of my friends would make it difficult for me. I've just seen difficulties and drama happen, and it just
not worth it.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah. No,
but
listen.
I also want my friends to be there with me.
I get it. I totally get it. There's a lot of stress and whatnot when it comes with bridesmaids. I would say, to answer this question, like, do you ask her to step down? I don't know if I would ask her to step down, but I would have a conversation. Like, I don't even know what I would say. Like, be fucking better. Like, sorry, I feel like I'm being harsh, but what, like,
I think, listen, I would come from a place of honesty and like emotions where I would have a conversation. I would, because I think a conversation would hurt your friendship less than you saying, hey, I don't want you to be a bridesmaid anymore.
100%.
I think you should just say, like, listen, like, I love you. This wedding and planning this wedding has been really stressful and exhausting. And I completely understand that there's stuff that you might not be on board with or you might have questions about. But, like, if there's any way you can work through it on your own, like, I don't have the space right now to have these conversations. I love you and I really want you to be a part of the day, and I hope you're up for that. And if you're not, I understand.
I was gonna say, I think you can also say, like, if this is too much for you, you know, please tell me. I don't want it to affect our relationship, and if you don't want to be a bridesmaid, like, let me know.
Yeah.
If it's too much. I mean, I don't know how difficult this can be for someone. Like, it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
You can say no to a bachelorette. You can say no to things, but what? I don't know.
Can you say no to being someone's bridesmaid?
I think you can do whatever you want.
I don't think we could.
We couldn't. You didn't.
We could not.
Carly Silverman and Ilana Dunn could not say no. But I think if there are circumstances where you know you can't show up for someone, or maybe you have something going on in your life where you just don't feel like you can be there or serve, like,
or you can't afford it.
See, this is different because can't afford it. I mean, you can say no to a bachelorette. You can say no to going to a bridal party. Like, what is there not to afford? You're going to go to the wedding, so you need a dress. So what else is there?
But you might already have a dress versus buying a new $200 dress that's been requested, getting it altered for another $100.
So then that's something to have an open conversation about with the bride.
I agree.
Is, hey, I really do want to be your bridesmaid and have this up front, but there are certain things that I just cannot afford. Someone said that to me right away when I asked them to be my bridesmaid. They were like, 100%, I'm going to be there with you. I won't be able to afford going on a bachelorette. Yeah. I won't be able to, afford XYZ, and we're making it work.
Yeah.
And I'm helping make it work because I want her as my bridesmaid. She wants to be there. So I think there are ways, financial reasons, I don't know if that's a good reason because I feel like you can make it work.
I love that you brought up that someone said that to you because I just think it goes to show how far open communication can go in friendship, in bridesmaidship, wedding planning. I think everyone's so worried about hurting their friendships. And the more you talk to other people about, will this hurt my friendship? Like, the more likely it will, because you're not actually talking to the one person that matters, which is your friend.
Right.
So if you have a problem with your friend who's a bridesmaid, if you as a bridesmaid have a problem with your friend who's a bride, if you, unrelated to weddings and bridal parties in general, have a problem with a friend, you have to talk to that friend. You can't talk to every other friend except for them about the problem. You have to go to them.
Yeah. I mean, the same person called me one day and was like, hey, I saw your room block came out. Like, I don't know if I can afford it. Like, would you really want me at the hotel? And I'm like, listen, I want you to do whatever you feel comfortable doing. And we sat there and walked through the numbers and walked through what made sense and whatever. Like, it's communication. Yeah. And I really appreciated her being like, hey, help me with this.
Yeah.
Love
it. Speaking of,
what?
What do I do if I hate the dress that I'm being asked to wear? It's not hideous, but it's not cute by any means. More importantly, I feel really uncomfortable in it. I would never choose a dress this style for myself. It's unflattering and brings out my insecurities. I don't want to upset my friend or rock the boat, but I'm dreading wearing it. Listen, this is tough. Again, you can open communication. I would do it from the get-go. As soon as you're asked, like, hey, is everyone good wearing this dress? I would, maybe I would jump to order it and try it on. And if I didn't feel comfortable, that is the time where you have to reach out to your friend and be like, I love you and I really want to wear what you want me to wear, but I feel so uncomfortable in this and it's bringing out so many of my insecurities and I don't know that I will feel okay wearing this all day.
Yeah.
Is there anything else the same color but a slightly different style that you would be okay with me wearing?
But what if the bride, which I think is weird in my opinion, asking for all the dresses to be exactly the same? It's like, do you just suck it up? I'm going to say, yeah, I think so.
Listen, I think if the bride says, for the look I'm going for, I really want all my bridesmaids in the same dress, like, fine. But at least you asked and you have your answer rather than sitting there for months with knowing you have to wear this dress that you don't like, thinking, oh, should I have said something?
Yeah. I mean, listen, everyone is all different shapes and sizes. Yeah. Not one person is going to be obsessed with the same dress, which is why I don't think brides, in my opinion, should ask their bridesmaids to wear the same exact dress. I don't know how you feel about that, but I don't like that at all, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a tradition. I think a lot of people aren't doing it anymore, but I think it's something that a lot of people did for decades.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Okay, one more. Okay, I need capital HELP. One of my closest friends is getting married next May, and I couldn't be happier for her. But she became a complete bridezilla since the moment she got engaged. She's gone full psycho about every single detail about her wedding. I also find that we can't have conversations anymore that aren't about her wedding. It will always come up within 3 minutes of talking to each other. And while I know it's not a big deal, it's really annoying. Do I suck it up until the wedding's over because she's the bride? Or as her best friend, can I tell her to take a big, fat chill pill?
Interesting.
That's really tough.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just
Here's the thing. I get where this person is coming from because until I was a bride, I didn't know how to have conversations about wedding planning because I had no idea what was involved. I didn't even know what questions to ask my friends. And if they would talk to me about it, I would just be like, oh, cool. Yeah. Like, that sounds awesome. Like, yeah.
I don't talk about wedding planning with anyone, maybe except you, because I know you're going through it.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, if I didn't have you, I don't know. I don't know.
I talk about it a lot, but I'm not the one to bring it up. And I've noticed this, where I don't want to talk about it.
I don't
people
either.
will ask me, how's wedding planning?
And I'll just be like,
and I will be like, you asked, not like, listen.
But like, do you go into detail? Because I don't. I'm just like, it's fine, Like, I don't want to talk. I actually don't want to talk about it.
Usually I'll be like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I will.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what the answer to this question is. I think, like, I don't know. It's hard to tell someone to take a chill pill. First of all, that's just like...
Yeah, definitely don't say take a chill pill. Don't say calm down or chill. Listen, I think if you're feeling like this is a complete different life stage that, like, I'm not in, I'm so happy for my friend, but I don't know how to, like, contribute in these conversations, and I feel like we're not talking about other things anymore, I think in that case it's valid to say, like, when your friend is coming to you and venting about it, just be like, I wish I knew what you were going through so I could help. I don't, and I'm here for you. But, like, why don't we talk about something else to get your mind off of it?
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Or go to her with something that you need to talk about and you need to vent about and be like, I really need you just to, like, listen, or I need your advice on this, and try and see, like, can she have a conversation that's not about the wedding?
Yeah.
I would see if that
I would hope so.
Could work. Otherwise, I would kind of suck it up.
Yeah.
Until the wedding's over.
And this is why I'm glad I'm having a short engagement.
Yeah. Wow. Whew. How you feeling?
I'm sweating.
Me too.
I can't believe there's bridesmaids jobs.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear, like, everyone else being like, of course there are. Like,
Yeah, listen, I've had them and they're not that big of a deal at the end of the day.
No, I know. It's just funny, the PowerPoint.
Yeah, the PowerPoint
I think because it was like frames like that, like here's an entire PowerPoint presentation of what you need to be doing on my wedding day.
Yeah, that I think is taking it a bit too far.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up on a TikTok.
Yeah.
That is how you end up on a viral TikTok getting chat on.
You know, maybe I should do that.
PowerPoint about the jobs that your bridesmaids have.
No, I'm going to do that so I can have a viral TikTok. Bridesmaids, get ready for your jobs.
Text your friends and ask them to each help out with something during the wedding day. Fine. Make a PowerPoint of it. You are asking to go viral on TikTok being made fun of.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep. All right. Would you rather?
Would you rather? Would you rather be the youngest child or the oldest child?
This is interesting. We're both middle children.
Wait, I'm the youngest.
Oh. Wait.
Guys,
you said it.
When I picked this question, I don't always share all the would you rather questions. But I was like, oh, this is a good one because neither of us are the youngest or the oldest.
And that's why that was in my head.
I am most definitely the youngest of three. I've always been the youngest.
Why did you say you were in the middle?
I have no idea.
Ilana literally looked at me the other day as she was like writing some of these. And again, she usually doesn't share them, but she was like, oh, this is such a good one because we're both middle child. And I didn't even think twice about it. I was like, oh, yeah.
What was going through my head? Did I think maybe I thought Barkley was huge?
No, I actually don't know. I'm so confused.
I'm concerned.
And the only reason I just said that right now because I'm like, oh, I remember she said that. That's funny.
What younger sibling did I think I had?
I don't know.
Did I think I was older than Brian or Andrew? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm confused. Well,
how are you not sweating in here?
I am so sweating.
Like it's so hot in here. Okay. I know. God, it's not just me. Okay, well, would you rather be the younger? Well, you are. I don't know because I'm the middle child. I feel like I would be younger because I just like being treated like a younger child. Probably.
I'd be being the youngest child. I would be curious to be the oldest child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like my brother is definitely the favorite. But I think it's just because he's a boy.
Oh, I'm definitely the favorite.
Really?
Yeah. But that might be because I'm the girl.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like one of three, which is like the odd one out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Would you rather your significant other be best friends with your ex or best friends with their ex?
So would I rather Jason be best friends with Taylor
or his ex?
Or his ex? I don't know. Probably my ex, because why is he still best friends with his ex?
I agree. I had to think about it too, but I think definitely my ex, who I guess I could get used to being around, versus his ex,
who he's had sex with. Like
I would always wonder, like why?
Like why?
Why are you still best friends? Are there lingering feelings on either side?
You know, I don't like that at all. That's just weird. Like friendly, text happy birthday, fine.
Sure.
I don't really care at all.
Beyond that.
Going out to dinner alone and just like...
No, absolutely not.
That's weird.
Absolutely not. Nope. Would you rather meet the love of your life in high school or at the age of 30?
30, 100%.
Agreed.
Literally no question. 35, 40.
Yeah.
Than high school for me.
Agreed.
Okay, cool.
You change so much.
Yeah.
In college, in your 20s, you're not a person. It's very shocking to me when I hear someone were like high school sweethearts. And that's amazing if they made it work.
No, it's so amazing.
But it's so rare.
So rare.
I would so much rather meet the love of my life
later in life.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Last one. Would you rather begin every sentence with hey jerk face or end every sentence with ha ha, I was just kidding?
Oh my God. So I would end every sentence with either hey jerk face or ha ha, I was just kidding.
You would start, hey jerk face. I'm going to end every sentence with just kidding. Ha, just kidding.
Wait, what? What did you say?
You would start every sentence with hey jerk face.
Yeah.
Or end every sentence with just kidding. See, I said just kidding and you were confused.
Oh. That was funny.
Ba-doom.
I think I'd have to do the hey jerk face.
I think so too.
I can't say haha, just kidding after everything.
That's so confusing. Hey jerk face, people will just get.
Yeah.
At first they'll be thrown off, and then someone will be like, oh, that's just a thing they do.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Like, I just had a mental breakdown. Haha, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I just had a mental breakdown. Haha, just kidding.
Or like,
Someone died.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Or like, oh, I'm gonna be late. Just kidding. Like, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Dinner's ready. Ha, just kidding. I'm so stressed right now. Ha, just kidding. I love you. Just kidding.
Yeah, like what?
Will you marry me? Just kidding. Hey, jerk face. Will you marry me? Just kidding.
Oh my God. Yeah, definitely the jerk face. 100%.
Could you ever get a job though if you say hey jerk face at the beginning of every
Do you have to
sentence?
say it on emails?
Ooh.
Like, hey jerk face. Or do you have to say
just kidding. Just kidding. Imagine if that was someone's email sign off. Haha, just kidding. Ilana.
I think I want to do that.
See how it goes. Test it out. Take it for,
Maybe I'll get
take
more
it for a
deals.
spin. Maybe.
Like, imagine you were firing someone.
Just kidding.
Oh my God.
I want a divorce. Haha, just kidding.
We could go all day.
Do you take Jason to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do. Ha, just kidding. Okay.
Alrighty, well, with that, we can literally go on day. Oh my God, I need to stretch my legs. Anyway, that's a fun episode. Let us know if you've ever had bridesmaids, duties, and jobs. I'd love to know if you've ever gotten a PowerPoint. Sorry, I'm still in the haha, just kidding. Anyway, you know where to find us at It's Life in Progress on Instagram and TikTok. Email carlyandilana@gmail.com. Rate and review us on Spotify, Apple, and
send this to your friends. Send this to your bridesmaids. Send this to your group chat. Just kidding.
Just kidding. All right, see you next week.
Or not.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Bye. Just kidding.